So, welcome back. Today we are joined with the amazing Ray Star. Ray, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be here. My name is Ray. I'm an Animal author. I'm a creative writing coach, and I'm the founder of the Soul Story app. I help empaths write impactful novels without overwhelm and without AI.
Amazing. How did you get into this line of work?
Oh, it's such a nuanced story. It's one of those, like when you find what you're essentially born to do, and someone asks you that question of how did this come about? It's like your whole life leads up to that moment, you know. When I was at school, I always dreamt of writing a book. That was my thing as a young girl. I always wanted to be an author. And in school, I don't know if anyone else resonates with this, but my imagination and my connection to my creative side was kind of drawn away from me in the sense I was told to get my head out of the clouds, to stop daydreaming and to start focusing. And I did, and I listened, and I ended up doing media studies and business at school. And when I finished school, I started my own business from a very young age. So I founded my first company when I was 19. I had that company for 15 years. I had a very successful PR agency, and it ticked all the boxes of societal life. It bought me my first house, it paid the bills, yada, yada. But inside, my soul was crying. I didn't want to do this. And something happened in 2017 where I really got to reflect on my life and think, like, is this what I want to do with my life? And the answer was that no, it wasn't what I wanted to do with my life at all. And I took the plunge, I closed that business, I wrote my first book, and then my life went from doing stuff that I didn't want to do every day to doing what I did want to do every day. I was very lucky that those books went on to become international bestsellers. They won some awards. I was asked to teach in schools, and then from there, from teaching in schools, I found my feet as a creative writing coach, and now I help others find and connect with the story inside of them, and I love it. It's my dream. It's my dream. It's great.
Amazing. I find it's always interesting when majority of people will go through life where they'll end up in one career and then something will happen and suddenly they'll be in a completely different level of career, something they never imagined they'd actually do. And yet
Mm.
it becomes their everything. Um, I remember when my mentor once turned around to me and said, Vicky, when are you just going to own that you're delivering psychic strategy? And I was like, what are you talking about? Shouldn't you channel in it every single mastermind that we're in? Like, you're giving people answers from a channeled source. Like, what are you doing? Like, just you're not intuitive, you're psychic, own it. I was like, I don't want it. That's scary. I don't want to put that out there into the real world because people don't understand it. People think that because you use the word psychic, you've got to go and do all this crazy shit and talk to dead people. And it's got nothing to do with that. There's different levels of psychic abilities, there's different levels of gifts, and mine's are clairsentient and I am clairvoyant and but I'm more claircognizant. So between the clairsentience and the claircognizant, that's what I work with, and I've kind of shut down the rest of it. I'm like, I don't want that. But it depends. A lot of people in society don't look at what we do in the here and now as being anything worthy because they don't connect with it, do they? So taking you into your creative writing coaching stuff, how did that merge you to becoming a spiritual entrepreneur? What was the transition for you?
So, what I notice when I coach people is that they struggle with usually one of three things. They tell themselves that they don't have time. They convince themselves that their story isn't good enough or that no one's going to want to read it, or they outsource their story to someone else or to AI. And this is something, again, that's really, really nuanced, but all of these things come, as I'm sure you will know, from a fear based response, from a shadow, from some form of trauma, normally that happens to us before the age of 10, and to get through those blocks and to connect with your story, because we've all got one. Everyone on this planet has got a story that can impact and change the world in some way. And there are so few people that actually write that story the way that it wants to be written. because your story is not just a story, it's alive inside of you. If you can close your eyes and you can see it and you can see those characters, your story is a living being within you. And so I guess I help people connect with that on a spiritual level and give them the confidence to write it how the story wants to be written, and to work through those blocks, to work through those shadows, to understand that when you go to write your book and then you think, oh, that's not good enough, should I run this through that software to do X, Y, or Z? Or do the dishes need doing? Should I put the housework in front of my dream of writing this book? All these different things that so many of us do and that get in the way of us achieving our dreams, of writing the book, of getting the publishing deal, of doing the XYZ of whatever your book dream is. I help people do that, but from a place of mindfulness, because so many people overlook that, or they'll spend years storyboarding. I had one client that came to me and she had a fantastic story, an amazing story. And she'd storyboarded the whole thing. She had post-its everywhere. She could tell you everything about every single character. And I said to her, so how much have you written? She hadn't written a single chapter, because little did she know in that moment of planning out the entire story, she was actually procrastinating. She was putting off doing the thing, writing the story. Does that make sense? So it's different for every author, every aspiring author, but I help them get to the root of what their blocks are, where those shadows come from, teach them how to embrace that and put that into their story, part of their creative fire, how to channel that through their characters, and essentially write the story they were born to tell and ensure that it gets published, it has readers, and it makes the difference for the things that that writer feels confident and passionate about.
Love it. Your passion shines through there, Ray. Okay, so we've not really met before until
No.
when you were nominated for one of our awards. How did it feel to receive that information?
Oh, it was wonderful. I rang my publisher. I was like, you're cheeky. I was so grateful, because I've only just started. I've been a creative writing coach for years, but I've only just set up Soul Story. And the Soul Story app is essentially my creative writing app, where anyone who has got an idea for a story, or who feels stuck on their story, or has written their story but don't know how to publish and market it and take it to all that it can be, they can download this app and all those resources are on there. Everything is on there. But I only built this company 6 months ago. We've only been going since January. So to be nominated and shortlisted for an award already is just, yeah, you
So what,
know.
I totally get it. But what makes this award different to the other awards that you've gone for in the past?
Because it's soul aligned, and my business is called Soul Story for a reason. Again, anyone can write a book. Anyone can write a book. Anyone. A very select few amount of people can write their soul story, can have the courage, and can have the devotion to go deep, go through those blocks and write the story that actually wants to be written. And I feel that this award, as a soul-led business, would reflect that in some way, and that just really means something to me, you know. So yeah.
Good. I'm pleased that you feel like this is giving you a space in the world to be at. So, Ray, we're going to be meeting in a couple of weeks. We're going to be at the event. What are you most looking forward to?
Meeting other spiritually business-led people, like the world that I live, the place that I live in. I'm a mum. I've got two young boys, 7 and 5. I've got two stepdaughters, 15 and 18. My partner is a football coach. I love my family more than anything in my life, but no one in my life is spiritual. No one. It's just me. And I'm sure many can relate to this, and that it can be quite lonely, especially in a business perspective. The people that I've worked with previously, other than my clients, a lot of my clients are spiritually led. But yeah, just not having that space to kind of be around people that have that same frequency and that same energy. So I'm just really looking forward to being in the room with other souls that are, you know, on this journey as well, and hearing their stories and seeing where they've come from and how they got there and where they're going next. And we amplify each other, you know. Your success is my success is your success. So, you know, let's do this.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. So for anyone that's listening in, Ray, where would they come and find you to find out more about how you bring their story out of their soul and into the reality.
I would love that. Do reach out. I'd love to hear from anyone. So my personal social media is at Ray Star Books, or if you'd like to check out my app, it's thesoulstoryapp.com. And I would love to hear from anyone that has got a story stuck inside of them that would like to bring it to life and finds themselves doing the dishes or running it through ChatGTP first. I will help you get over that shadow and write that story and make it all it can be, because it's life changing. It's
Yeah.
life changing.
So go and check out Ray. And if you haven't got your ticket to the event yet, make sure you go and secure that now, because we are very close to closing the ticket sales off. So less than just over 2 weeks to go, and we'll all be in that room, and I can't wait. Thank you for joining me, Ray. It's been lovely to connect and actually meet you for the first time. And I look
You
forward to
too.
meeting you in person at the event.
See you in a couple of weeks. I can't wait.